Got emergency returning. Third strike, he lost the thrust in the engine, so he's returning immediately.
I leaned over, saw the flames. Like, this isn't good. You know, this is not what you want to see.
155 people on a routine flight suddenly faced death.
He's at 900 feet.
Man, it's going to be like 9/11 again.
We can't do it. We're going to be in the Hudson.
The pilot came on and he said, "This is the captain speaking, brace for impact."
You know, we're crashing. So I quickly typed out a text. Plane's on fire and I love you and the girls.
I felt sad that I might be leaving a family so young.
I was not ready to die yet. I have too many things to do.
Saturday's going down.
I and a lot of others thought this is it, like this is the end.
I reached over and held the hand of the lady next to me and prepared to be a dead man.
In the water.
You get anybody, you send them right over to the Lake of Town. We had
They called it a miracle. But for the passengers of Flight 1549, the crash was just the beginning.
We've survived the crash, but now we're going to drown.
This is the story of what really happened on the Hudson.
Bitterly cold overnight, a low down to 8 degrees. Some sunshine tomorrow, but windy and very cold.
New York City, Thursday, the 15th of January. It's a cold and clear day.
Wind chill will be as low as 10 below at times. I'm Craig Allen in the WCBS Weather Center.
At the city's second airport, LaGuardia, an Airbus A320 is being prepped for a routine flight to Charlotte, North Carolina. One regular commuter on the New York-Charlotte hop is business consultant Vicki Barnhart. She makes the 4-hour return plane trip every week, leaving her husband Mike to look after their children, Michael 4 and Samantha 8.
I was excited and I was looking forward to getting back home. My daughter had been working hard all week to get all of her homework done so that she could spend time with me Thursday evening when I got home.
Robert Cullajay is a retired postal worker and proud grandfather from Massachusetts. He's heading south for a holiday with his 31-year-old son, Jeff.
My dad's just a cool guy, you know. I just think of him as a friend.
Jeff is more of a best friend than a son because we've done everything as a family together all our lives. Star. It's really hard to explain. I mean, it's a total bond.
US Airways Flight 1549 gets clearance to board. But when father and son, Rob and Jeff Cullajay, check in, there's a hitch. The flight is almost full. Rob is assigned a seat in row 6, but Jeff has to sit separately, near the back of the plane.
Last minute flight, we couldn't sit together. And Jeff, my son, ended up in seat 24. You know, we didn't even think anything about it, one way or the other.
On an ordinary day, a minor inconvenience. But today, it means they will face death alone. Vicki Barnhart is also unhappy with her seat, in the jet's back row.
I don't like sitting in the back, but the flight was packed. That was the only seat. I did try to actually move my seat closer to the front, but there wasn't, so I just stuck with it. Obviously, had no choice.
Ground practice 1549, spot 28 taxi, please.
At 3:24 p.m., the flight, call sign Cactus 1549, is cleared for takeoff.
Cactus 1549 is squawking 7134, and we're runway 360 at 5,000.
Okay, 1549, LaGuardia clearance. Feedback, correct, ground point 7, verify information, Papa.
We have Papa, thank you, Cactus South.
The Airbus A320 takes off from LaGuardia's northeast runway. It weighs 66 tons, and its two engines have a combined thrust of over 40,000 horsepower. There are 155 passengers and crew on board. The flight path will take them north, over New York City, before turning west to head for Charlotte. The flight is scheduled to take 2 hours. It will actually last less than 6 minutes.
There was nothing going on this flight to make me think that it was anything other than a flight I'd probably get on and probably sleep.
Flying at over 250 miles per hour, the plane climbs over the densely populated Bronx. 54 seconds later, with engines still at takeoff thrust, the jet reaches 3,200 feet. Sales manager Mark Hood, traveling first class, is in seat 2A.
It's a beautiful day. The sun's shining, it's crisp and cold outside. Out of the corner of my left eye, I glanced out the window and I saw what looked like a gray shape shoot by the window and hit the engine. I knew immediately that the engine had been impacted because it sounded like a colossal bam.
It startled everyone. What was that? What was going on?
I leaned over and saw the flames, and at that point, like, this isn't good. You know, this is not what you want to see.
The captain immediately reports in to air traffic control.
This is Cactus 1539. Hit birds through lost thrust on both engines, returning back towards LaGuardia.
You turn left heading up 220.
220.
With both engines out, the Airbus is dropping at 18 feet per second. At that rate, the Airbus will crash land in New York in less than 3 minutes' time.
Terrain ahead. Pull up.
He's got emergency returning. 1529. He bird strike. He lost all engine. He lost the thrust in the engine. He's returning immediately.
An Airbus A320 with 155 people on board is coming down over New York City after a massive bird strike took out both engines. The fate of the passengers and crew now rests entirely on the flying skills of Captain Chesley Sullenberger, nicknamed Sully. Married with 2 daughters, he is 58 years old, just 7 years from retirement. He has flown for US Airways for nearly 30 years. The defining moment of his life and the lives of 154 other people is less than 3 minutes away. In the cabin, it's clear to some of the passengers that something is terribly wrong.
The turbines weren't really moving as quickly as what you would normally expect, and there was an eerie silence except for a knocking sound. It's like tennis shoes rolling around in a dryer.
Okay, that was a bird strike. Now the power is beginning to roll back, indicating that we do have a loss of power on both engines.
Former Airbus pilot Jay Joseph is flying a flight simulator, which is an exact copy of the Airbus A320 cockpit interior. It is programmed to simulate a jet's second-by-second response to a double-engine failure at 3,200 feet. Every flashing light and instrument display is what the pilots would have seen and heard when disaster struck Flight 1549.